have to get this out of the way. We do need to address.
We're bringing it down for a moment, folks. It's all right.
Of manga artist, I believe his name was Kentaro Miura.
Kentaro Miura, one of the most well-known manga artists of the day and creator of the hit series that has inspired countless copycats throughout the years, Berserk, sadly passed away on the 6th of May. We actually only got the news about a week ago, and according to the medical report, please bear with me for a moment while I
Yes,
get my
go
hands on
ahead.
this information. Oh man, I'm still kind of reeling from it because shit, you know, it's one of those things that it's kind of hard to realize. Oh man, this actually happened. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second to get my hands on this thing.
It's truly a sad moment, and we wish to pay our respects to a beautiful mangaka, a man who has pioneered the art form, a man who has kept us thoroughly entertained, and the creator of by far one of the most terrifying stories I've ever come across.
Yet a story filled with hope and the struggle to survive. Kentaro Miura, world-famous creator of Berserk, has passed away at the age of 54. According to the statements...
I thought it was 59.
Not even that far, I'm afraid.
Shit.
According to the statements of the editorial department of Young Animal Comics, the poor man passed away at May the 6th as a result of acute aortic dissection. I don't know the specifics of the illness, but for what I've been told, essentially means that your vein bursts and you die immediately for lack of blood to your heart.
Oh, fuck. It is very sad, and what's even more sad is that, you know, his work is left unfinished.
Unfortunately, yes. Unlike his many assistants, we don't know what they are going to do. Supposedly, and according to a report done in 2019, he left behind notes explaining how the manga was going to be finished, and his assistants can draw almost as well as he. But whether they will actually take up the pen and proceed ahead depends on what he left behind in his will, if he ever did. But yes, unfortunately, that means that until further notice, one of the greatest mangas in the world, if not one of the coolest works of the Dark Era, is as of now on permanent hiatus, as we have lost one of the greatest mangakas in the world.
Indeed. We in the Raven's Flock would like to extend our deepest condolences to all of his closest friends and family members, those who know him personally, those who've been with him personally, those who worked with him. You know, we express our sincerest condolences to each and every person who has been part of his life, who he has touched with his art.
You know, it's fucking funny because, like, it's folks just think, oh, Berserk is just this obscure anime that just didn't do anything. Like, okay, let's sit you down under the learning tree and let me get my reading glasses because the library is open, children.
Yes.
How many different other animes? How many different other video games, stories, all sorts of different art forms and entertainment has Berserk inspired? Off the top of my head, doesn't he fucking carry a giant fucking Buster Sword like a certain yellow hair, like spiky haired motherfucker who is basically the living the mascot of an entire like 18 game fucking video game franchise called Final Fantasy?
It is pretty much from the start. Berserk has inspired about... Okay, let me put it this way. You know how they say everything is a JoJo reference?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, guess what? Everything else is a Berserk reference.
Yeah.
For those of you who dabble into the line of video games, if you ever played any Dark Souls or Bloodborne game, you will see the influence everywhere.
Berserk is the Dark Souls of anime. Literally.
In a sense, no irony. Yes, it is. It was a genuine trendsetter for its time, and it defined countless pieces of fiction in every form of entertainment throughout the years. You want a very, very recent example? Relatively simple. Infinity War. Remember the scene where Thanos...
Avengers Infinity War?
Yeah. Remember when Thanos gets the stone?
Yes.
He sacrifices a loved one to get a specific jewel that will grant him amazing power on the cusp of an eclipse, under the supervision of a demonic figure in a black cloth.
That's right. Oh, fuck.
Even if it feels like a bit of a loose representation, it's very clearly that somebody in that production team was watching Berserk, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this thing is a fucking behemoth.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh God.
Dude, just look through fiction and the amount of characters that have been inspired by gods alone is staggering, almost on the triple digits.
Shout out the Hedgehogs.
Every single anti-hero with a sad past and a big fucking sword you've ever seen took at least some inspiration from gods. So, well,
it's no secret that Berserk has basically inspired a lot of different animated shows and movies, a lot of creators out there. And whether the work itself, whether the manga will continue with other people behind the wheel, that remains to be seen. I personally think like it probably will, but it won't be the same because, you know, it's not going to have the same original ingenuity from the original artist.
Or the art style. We can
Or the
actually
art
get to
style.
see Miura's art evolution through the series as it goes from a rougher sketch style to a beautifully detained, almost landscape-like levels of detail. Like, if you could see Miura's work in Berserk Volume 1, which still looks pretty good, but a little rough, all the way to the most recent volume before his regretful passing, holy shit, you would not realize that it's the same person drawing. And to their credit, his assistants can draw almost as well as him, but even if they had the notes, I suppose I'll be happy if I just get an ending out of it, but it's still a shame that
doesn't feel right.
the sheer level of brutality manga creators endure in Japan just to get their work done is insane. This is not the first time we've seen this.
It's not. This has happened before, and I would like to continue going on, but we do have a lot to discuss.
Let's finish what Angel's point was going to be first, and then we'll get into the fun.
Point in case
We'll try to bring back fun over here.
I fear that what we're seeing here is ultimately yet another consequence of Japan's incredibly brutal work until you die policy, which has allowed some beautiful work to be made, but at the same time, the amount of hell the manga creators go to just to get their work out is something that deserves respect and admiration, because some of them can and have pushed themselves to the point of physical illness just to get the problem done. Somebody actually looked up the recent reports of Miura's work, and the man barely survived Corona as it was, only to find out he couldn't go to his friend's funeral because Corona kept him on his house.
Fuck.
There was a constant running joke of the fact that Miura goes on hiatus almost constantly, and they know it's because of health problems, but nobody realized it was going to be over something like this. And yeah, no, sadly, you just kind of broke the news about a week ago, and we're still reeling over that, unfortunately.
We are, and we would like to right now pay a moment of silence for the passing of Kentaro Miura. All right, let's go ahead.
Thank you very much, folks.
Yes.
Yep.